Let's dive into this exciting topic, crisis management concepts. Imagine you're at the helm of your company during an unexpected crisis show. Do you navigate through it smoothly? Well, today we'll explore some fundamental ideas that will help you manage any emergency effectively. First off, let's understand what a crisis is. It's not just any problem, it's something big and urgent that can severely impact operations or reputation. Think of it as a high-stakes moment where every decision counts. Now, managing such situations requires a clear strategy, something we call crisis management planning. This involves identifying potential crises, assessing risks, developing response plans, and putting them into action when needed. Next up is the emergency response team. These are your go-to people during any crisis. They're like superheroes, ready to spring into action at a moment's notice. They need to be well-trained and know exactly what their roles are in handling different scenarios. It's all about teamwork here, folks. Another key concept is stakeholder communication. During a crisis, it's crucial to keep everyone informed: employees, customers, partners, even the media. Transparency builds trust and reduces panic. You want to share information as quickly and accurately as possible. Now, let's talk about recovery planning. Not just surviving the crisis, but thriving afterwards requires a plan for getting back on track. This involves assessing damage, repairing infrastructure if needed, and regaining lost momentum. It's all about resilience here. Lastly, we have after-action review, a post-mortem of sorts where you analyze what went right, what went wrong, and how to improve your crisis management strategies next time around. Think of it as a learning opportunity to avoid repeating the same mistakes. So there you have it, a crash course in crisis management concepts that should equip you with some valuable tools for handling unexpected emergencies like a pro. Remember, preparation is key. So keep these ideas handy and you'll be ready when the next crisis strikes. Today, we're diving into why leadership is so crucial in crisis situations. Imagine you're leading a team during a major disaster or an unexpected challenge. Great leaders aren't just managing, they're guiding their teams through chaos with clarity and confidence. It's like being the captain of a ship navigating through stormy seas, making tough decisions swiftly while keeping everyone focused on reaching safe harbor. Leadership in crises is about more than just decision-making. It's also about communication and morale. Picture this: when faced with a sudden problem, leaders need to communicate clearly what's happening, why it matters, and how the team can help solve it. This keeps everyone informed and working together effectively. Another key aspect of leadership during tough times is empathy. A leader who understands their team's fears and stresses can better support them emotionally. It helps build trust and makes people feel valued in challenging situations. Think about a manager checking in with employees individually to see how they are coping, or organizing group meetings where everyone feels heard. Leadership also involves foresight and planning. Great leaders anticipate potential issues before they happen and prepare their teams accordingly. For example, during a pandemic, an effective leader would have already had plans for remote work and communication channels set up well in advance, ensuring business continuity even when things got tough. Lastly, resilience is key. Leaders who can stay calm under pressure inspire others to do the same. They lead by example, showing that despite challenges, there's always a way forward. This attitude helps teams persevere through difficult times until they emerge stronger on the other side. So, in summary, leadership during crises isn't just about making tough calls. It's also about communication, empathy, foresight, and resilience. These qualities help leaders guide their teams safely through rough waters to smoother seas ahead. All right, everyone, let's dive into today's topic, identifying the nature of a crisis. Imagine you're walking down a busy street when suddenly there's an accident. Nearby cars crashed, people are shouting, and it feels like everything just got chaotic all at once. That's what identifying a crisis is about: recognizing when something has gone wrong and understanding its severity. So, how do we pinpoint a crisis? Well, first off, it's crucial to look for warning signs. These might be subtle at times, but they're there if you know where to spot them. For example, in business, an unexpected drop in sales could indicate financial troubles brewing below the surface. Next, once you've spotted those warning signs, you need to assess the situation's impact and scope. Is it affecting just one department, or is it a company-wide issue? The broader the impact, typically the more urgent the crisis becomes. Think of it like this. If your car breaks down in a quiet neighborhood, that's bad enough, but breaking down on the highway during rush hour could be catastrophic. Another key aspect is understanding who's involved and how they're reacting to the situation. Are people panicking or staying calm? Panic can escalate things quickly, while composure might help stabilize the situation temporarily. In leadership roles, recognizing these reactions helps guide an appropriate response. Then there's the timeline factor. How urgent is this crisis? Is it something that needs immediate attention, like a sudden fire outbreak in your building? Or can you take some time to plan and execute a strategy for long-term issues, such as declining market shares? Lastly, don't forget about resources. Do you have enough manpower, finances, or tools to handle the situation effectively? A crisis might require reallocating existing assets or even seeking external support. So, let's recap. Identifying a crisis involves spotting warning signs, assessing impact and scope, observing stakeholder reactions, considering urgency, and evaluating available resources. It's all about being proactive and prepared, turning potential disasters into manageable challenges. That wraps up our discussion on identifying the nature of a crisis. Remember, staying vigilant and responsive can make all the difference in how smoothly you navigate through these tricky situations. All right, everyone, let's dive into understanding how we assess the impact of our actions and identify who is affected by them. When you think about any project or initiative, it's important to consider not just what changes are being made, but also how those changes will affect different groups of people. This process of identifying these effects and the people involved is known as assessing the impact and stakeholders. So let's break this down step by step. First off, we need to think about who our stakeholders are. These are the individuals or groups that have an interest in your project or initiative. They could be employees, customers, suppliers, investors, regulators, or even community members. Each stakeholder has their own interests and concerns, which can influence how they view any changes you're making. Next, we assess the impact of these changes on each stakeholder group. This involves looking at both positive and negative effects. For instance, implementing a new technology might improve efficiency for employees, but could require additional training or resources. It's crucial to consider all angles here to ensure that no one is left behind. To do this effectively, we can use tools like stakeholder mapping or impact assessment frameworks, which help us visualize these relationships and impacts clearly. These tools are particularly useful when dealing with complex projects involving multiple stakeholders and diverse impacts. As you work through assessing the impact and identifying key stakeholders, always keep in mind that communication is key. Engage your stakeholders early on to understand their perspectives and concerns. This helps build trust and ensures alignment as you move forward with your project or initiative. In conclusion, by taking the time to assess impact and engage stakeholders, we're better positioned to make informed decisions that benefit everyone involved while minimizing potential downsides. Remember, it's all about balancing the needs and interests of different groups to achieve a positive outcome for your organization and beyond. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this important aspect of project management and leadership. Today, we're diving into how to establish criteria for evaluation in our projects and assessments. This is crucial because it helps us measure success accurately and fairly. Let's start by thinking about what makes up good criteria. We want something that's clear and specific so everyone understands exactly what's being evaluated. For example, if you're grading a project on creativity, your criteria should spell out what creative elements you're looking for. Next, we need to ensure our criteria are measurable. This means that it needs to be possible to quantify or at least observe the success of each criterion. If one of your evaluation points is about originality, perhaps you can include how many unique ideas were generated. Also important is the relevance of your criteria. They should directly align with what's being assessed and support the overall learning goals. For instance, if you're evaluating a presentation skills project, having a criterion related to audience engagement makes sense. Lastly, think about making your criteria fair. This means they shouldn't unfairly advantage or disadvantage any group or individual. So, for example, if one of your evaluation points is on punctuality, make sure all participants have equal access to the necessary resources and time management tools. Now that we've covered these key elements, let's talk about how to apply them in a real-world scenario. Imagine you're evaluating an essay writing assignment. Your criteria could include things like clarity of argument, evidence quality, proper citation format, and creativity in topic selection. Remember to communicate your evaluation criteria clearly to those being evaluated so there are no misunderstandings or surprises when the results come back. This transparency builds trust and helps everyone understand what's expected from them. To summarize, establishing effective criteria for evaluation involves ensuring clarity and specificity, measurability, relevance, and fairness. By following these guidelines, you'll be better equipped to assess projects accurately and provide meaningful feedback that supports learning and growth. That wraps up our discussion on establishing criteria for evaluation. I hope this gives you some valuable insights into creating fair and effective assessment methods in your own work or classroom settings. Today, we're diving into the world of decision-making processes, an area that can make or break your projects. Let's start by understanding what exactly goes into designing these processes. At its core, it's about creating a framework to help you evaluate options and choose the best path forward. First off, let's think about defining goals. What are we trying to achieve with this decision? Setting clear objectives is crucial because it guides your entire process. For example, if you're deciding on which project to invest in, knowing that you want high returns might lead you towards a high-ticket investment. But don't forget the nitty-gritty details like risk tolerance or timelines. Next up, gather information. You can't make an informed decision without all the facts. This could involve market research, expert opinions, or data analysis. It's important to seek out multiple perspectives and sources here. For instance, if you're a business owner choosing between two suppliers, getting feedback from both current and potential clients will give you valuable insights. Once you've got your information together, it's time for evaluation. This is where critical thinking comes into play. You need criteria to judge each option against. Maybe you prioritize cost-effectiveness or perhaps environmental impact. Whatever your key factors are, apply them consistently across all choices. It might help to create a scoring system so that everything can be objectively measured. Another crucial step is risk assessment. No decision is without its risks, but some may be more manageable than others. By identifying potential downsides early on, you're better prepared for any bumps in the road. For example, if investing in technology requires training employees, consider how long it might take and what resources are needed. After all this evaluation, it's time to make that tough call. Selecting the best option involves weighing pros and cons against your goals and criteria. Remember, sometimes there isn't a perfect choice, you just pick the one with the least negatives or greatest benefits. Once decided, move forward confidently but stay flexible enough to adjust if needed. Finally, don't forget about reviewing outcomes. This feedback loop is vital for improving future decisions. Did things work out as planned? Were there any surprises along the way? By reflecting on what happened and why, you'll be better equipped next time around. So, in summary, designing effective decision-making processes involves defining clear goals, gathering comprehensive information, evaluating options against set criteria, assessing risks, making a choice, and then reviewing results. Each step is crucial for reaching well-informed conclusions that benefit your project or organization. Today, we're diving into something really important: how to find reliable data sources for your projects or research. Let's face it, in this digital age where information is abundant but not always accurate, knowing how to identify credible sources can make all the difference. First off, let's talk about academic databases like JSTOR and PubMed. These are gold mines of peer-reviewed articles that you can trust. When you're looking for something specific or need authoritative research on a topic, these databases are where it's at. But don't forget about government websites too. For instance, if you're researching economic trends or environmental data, sites like the Census Bureau or EPA can provide reliable stats and studies that have undergone rigorous scrutiny. Another tip: always check the author's credentials. A study conducted by a reputable expert is likely more trustworthy than one done by someone less recognized in their field. Websites ending with .gov or .edu are also generally reliable as they're backed by official institutions. Now, while blogs can be informative, you need to approach them cautiously. Look for ones that cite their sources and have an author who's established expertise in the subject matter. Sites like Forbes Insights or Harvard Business Review often meet these criteria. Lastly, remember to cross-reference your information with multiple sources. This helps ensure accuracy and gives you a well-rounded understanding of the topic at hand. So there you have it, some key pointers on finding reliable data sources. Whether you're working on a school project, doing research for work, or just gathering information for personal knowledge, these tips will help you sift through the noise to find credible facts. Let's dive right into how we can implement quick but effective research today. When faced with a tight deadline, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the amount of information available online. But don't worry, I've got some strategies that will help you find what you need fast without sacrificing quality. First off, start with credible sources. Websites like PubMed for medical studies or JSTOR for academic papers are great places to begin your search. These databases are curated and vetted, ensuring the information is reliable. When searching Google Scholar or other websites, look for those that end in .edu or .gov. They are likely reputable. Next, use keywords wisely. Think about what specific aspects of your topic you need to cover. If you're researching a high-ticket item, for instance, your keywords might include high-end product review and market analysis. The more precise your search terms, the better chance you have of finding relevant information quickly. Then, skim read effectively. Don't feel like you need to go through every single word in each article or website. Look for headings and subheadings that catch your attention or seem directly related to what you're looking for. Once you find something promising, dive into the details. Another tip is to utilize tools designed specifically for research efficiency. Websites like Zotero or Mendeley can help you organize references and citations as you go along. This saves time later when writing up your work. Lastly, don't forget about asking colleagues or experts in your field for advice or direct input. Sometimes a quick email or LinkedIn message to someone who's been there can provide invaluable insights that aren't available through research alone. So remember, implementing effective but quick research involves starting with credible sources, using precise keywords, skimming efficiently, and leveraging tools and expert connections when necessary. With these strategies in mind, you'll be well on your way to gathering the information you need without burning out or wasting time. That's it for now. Thanks for joining me today. Today, we're diving into the nitty-gritty of managing uncertainty. It's something that pops up all the time in our lives and work, whether it's dealing with an unpredictable market or navigating personal relationships. So how do we handle these situations without getting overwhelmed? First off, let's talk about embracing uncertainty as a part of life rather than viewing it as a problem to be solved instantly. When you see uncertainty as normal, you can approach it calmly instead of panicking. Next up is gathering information. The more data you have, the clearer your picture becomes. So, reach out to experts, research thoroughly, and collect all relevant details. This helps build confidence in your decisions despite the ambiguity. Another key technique is setting clear goals. Knowing what you want to achieve amidst uncertainty can guide your actions and keep you focused on moving forward rather than getting bogged down by doubts. Then there's risk assessment. Break things down to understand potential outcomes and weigh pros against cons. This way, even if you're not sure about the future, you make informed choices that align with your goals. Lastly, flexibility is crucial. Be ready to adjust plans as new information comes in or circumstances change. This adaptability helps you stay on track toward those goals despite any twists and turns along the way. In conclusion, handling uncertainty isn't about erasing doubt, but rather managing it effectively through gathering info, setting goals, assessing risks, and staying flexible. With these techniques, you can navigate uncertain situations with confidence and clarity. Let's dive into our lesson on strategies to mitigate risks. Risk mitigation is all about turning potential threats into manageable challenges. Now, there are several key methods we can use here, but let's start with risk avoidance. That means identifying potential hazards early and taking steps to eliminate them before they become a problem. For instance, if you're launching a new product, doing thorough market research could help you avoid targeting the wrong demographic. Another strategy is risk reduction, where instead of eliminating the threat entirely, we lessen its impact or likelihood. Think about implementing safety measures in a workplace to reduce the chance of accidents. This might involve training employees on proper equipment usage or installing protective gear. Next up is risk transfer, essentially shifting responsibility for a potential loss to another party through insurance or contracts. For example, when you buy home insurance, you're transferring the financial burden of repairs after an accident to your insurer. Then there's risk retention. This involves accepting the risk and planning how you'll handle any losses that occur. Businesses often set aside funds specifically for unexpected expenses as part of their cash flow management. Lastly, let's talk about diversification. By spreading out investments or business ventures, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. If one area fails, others might succeed, balancing the overall risk. Remember, each strategy has its pros and cons, and often a combination works best. The key is understanding what risks you face and tailoring your approach accordingly. All right, that's it for our lesson on mitigating risks. Today, we're diving into the world of crafting clear communication messages, something that's crucial in every aspect of our lives, whether it's sending an email to a colleague, writing a text message to a friend, or even just speaking at a meeting. The goal here is to ensure your message gets across loud and clear without any confusion. Let's start by thinking about the basics, clarity and purpose. Before you put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard, ask yourself what you want to achieve with this message. Are you sharing information, asking for help, making a request? Knowing your goal will guide how you structure and word your message. Now, let's talk about being concise. In today's fast-paced world, people don't have the time or patience for long-winded messages. Get straight to the point. Use short sentences and bullet points when appropriate to make your message easy to scan and digest quickly. Next up is using active voice. Active voice makes your writing more direct and engaging. Instead of saying the report was written by Sarah, say Sarah wrote the report. It's straightforward, clear, and gets right to who did what. Another important aspect is choosing the right words for your audience. Tailor your language so it resonates with them. If you're talking to high-ticket clients, use terminology they'll understand, but if you're messaging a friend, keep it casual and conversational. Don't forget about tone. The way you say something can change its meaning completely. For instance, saying thanks for the feedback versus I appreciate your feedback gives slightly different vibes. Choose words that convey the right mood or attitude. Then there's proofreading. Always double-check your message before sending it out to catch any spelling errors or awkward phrasing. It shows you care about getting things right and helps ensure your message is professional and polished. Lastly, think about follow-up messages. If your initial communication doesn't get a response, consider sending another one politely but don't nag. Maybe your first message was missed in the inbox clutter. So there you have it. Crafting clear communication messages isn't just about being brief and to the point. It's about understanding who you're talking to, what you want them to know or do, and choosing words that make sense to them. Remember these tips next time you're writing an email, making a phone call, or even having a face-to-face conversation. Clear communication is key in building strong relationships and getting things done effectively. Today, we're diving into an essential aspect of project management, ensuring timely information flow. Picture this: you've got a high-ticket project on your hands, with deadlines looming large and team members scattered across different locations. How do you keep everyone in the loop without getting tangled up in communication chaos? Well, that's where the magic happens. First things first, let's talk about setting clear expectations. When kicking off any project, make sure every team member knows exactly what they're responsible for and when their deliverables are due. This clarity helps prevent misunderstandings down the line. Next, establish a reliable communication channel, whether it's email, Slack, or Microsoft Teams, where updates can be shared regularly and accessed easily by everyone involved. Now, let's not forget about those regular check-ins. Whether it's daily stand-ups, weekly progress meetings, or monthly reviews, these are crucial for staying on top of things. They allow you to address any roadblocks promptly and ensure that nothing slips through the cracks. Remember, consistency is key here. If your team knows they'll be meeting every Monday at 10 a.m. sharp, they're more likely to show up prepared and ready to tackle any issues head-on. Another tip worth mentioning is the importance of documentation. Keeping detailed records of decisions made, actions taken, and progress updates ensures that everyone's on the same page, no matter how long ago a meeting happened or who was present. This reduces confusion later on and makes it easier for new team members to catch up quickly if needed. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of feedback loops. Encourage open dialogue where team members feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, concerns, or ideas freely. When everyone feels heard, you're more likely to get buy-in and collaboration across all levels of your project. So there you have it. By setting clear expectations, using consistent communication channels, holding regular check-ins, maintaining thorough documentation, and fostering an environment for open feedback, you'll be well on your way to ensuring timely information flow in any project. Let's dive into building effective crisis teams today. Now, imagine you're facing a high-stakes situation where every minute counts, and your team needs to work seamlessly together to get things under control. That's when having an effective crisis team becomes crucial. First off, let's talk about the importance of clear roles and responsibilities within the team. Each member knows exactly what they're responsible for during a crisis, ensuring there are no gaps or overlaps in coverage. This clarity is key to maintaining efficiency and reducing confusion under pressure. Next up, communication plays a huge role in how well your team works together. Establishing regular check-ins and quick response protocols helps ensure everyone stays informed and aligned, even when the situation gets hectic. And don't forget about using technology wisely. Tools like instant messaging apps can be lifesavers for rapid updates and coordination. Another critical aspect is building trust among team members. When people feel they can rely on one another, it fosters a sense of unity that's invaluable during challenging times. Creating opportunities for informal get-togethers or team-building exercises outside the crisis can help strengthen these bonds before any high-pressure situations arise. Now let's not forget about leadership. A strong leader who can remain calm and make decisive calls under pressure is essential. This person should also be skilled at empowering their team members to take initiative and act when necessary, without micromanaging or stifling creativity. Lastly, it's important to review and refine your crisis response plan regularly. Practicing these scenarios through drills helps identify any gaps in the process and ensures everyone knows what they are doing come crunch time. It's like a fire drill but for bigger issues. So there you have it: clear roles, effective communication, building trust, strong leadership, and regular reviews are key components to forming an excellent crisis team. With these elements in place, your team will be better prepared to handle whatever comes their way. That's all for today. Today, we're diving into an exciting topic: how embracing diverse perspectives can lead to better decisions. When we think about making choices at work or in our personal lives, it's easy to fall into familiar patterns and stick with what we know best. But imagine if you could tap into a wider range of ideas and viewpoints. Wouldn't that make your decision-making process richer? Absolutely. And this is where the power of diversity really shines. Let's break it down step by step. First, consider who you're including in your conversations when making big decisions. Are they all from similar backgrounds, or do you have a mix of perspectives represented? The more varied the group, the better chance you have of uncovering new insights and innovative ideas. For example, if you're planning a project at work, inviting team members with different expertise to weigh in can bring fresh angles that might not have been apparent before. Next up is listening actively and respectfully to these diverse voices. It's crucial to create an environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts, even if they seem unconventional or challenging. This openness fosters creativity and helps you avoid groupthink when a team agrees too quickly without exploring all the options. By embracing this diversity of thought, you're more likely to reach well-rounded conclusions that consider multiple angles. Moreover, it's important to be aware of any biases that might influence your decision-making process. For instance, if you tend to favor ideas from certain colleagues or departments, make a conscious effort to seek out alternative viewpoints. This balanced approach can help you avoid overlooking valuable contributions and lead to more informed choices overall. Finally, don't forget the nitty-gritty details. How will these diverse perspectives be integrated into your final decision? It's not just about gathering different opinions, but also synthesizing them effectively. For example, if you're planning an event, consider feedback from various stakeholders like sponsors, attendees, and venue staff to ensure all bases are covered. In conclusion, harnessing diverse perspectives is key to making better decisions both professionally and personally. By including a wide range of voices, listening actively, being mindful of biases, and integrating these viewpoints thoughtfully, you can arrive at more comprehensive conclusions that stand the test of time. Today, we're diving into 8.1, Techniques for Rapid Assessment. This is super important because it's all about how to quickly understand what's going on in any situation. Let's start with the big picture and then zoom into specific techniques. First up, we have a technique called triage. It's like sorting through patients at an emergency room. You prioritize based on urgency. In our case, it helps us identify which aspects of a problem need immediate attention and which can wait. This way, you focus your efforts where they're most needed. Next is SWOT analysis, super helpful for breaking down strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It gives you a clear view of what's working well and what needs improvement or watchfulness. For instance, if you're launching a new product, SWOT can help you see the potential market opportunity, any existing competitors' threats, your unique selling point strengths, and areas where you might need to improve weaknesses. Then there's rapid prototyping. This is all about creating quick, initial models or designs. It's really useful for getting a sense of how something will work before investing too much time or resources into it. Like when designing an app, make a basic prototype first and see if the flow works well. Another technique we should talk about is scanning. This involves looking broadly at your environment to spot trends, patterns, or emerging issues. It's like keeping an eye on market conditions for business owners or monitoring social media for PR professionals. Scanning helps you stay ahead of potential challenges and capitalize on new opportunities. Lastly, let's not forget about interviewing key stakeholders. This is really valuable because it gives you direct insight from people who are directly involved in the situation, whether that's customers, team members, or clients. Their firsthand experience can provide invaluable details that help shape your assessment accurately. So there you have it. Triage to prioritize urgency, SWOT for a balanced view of strengths and weaknesses, rapid prototyping to visualize solutions quickly, scanning to stay aware of broader trends, and interviewing stakeholders to gather essential insights. Each technique helps build a comprehensive picture fast without getting bogged down in details prematurely. Remember, the key with these techniques is to use them when you need quick answers, but also want thorough understanding. They are tools that help streamline your assessment process while still giving you the depth of knowledge you need to make informed decisions. Today, we're diving into how to make quick yet strategic choices by exploring different approaches that can help you navigate through high-pressure situations without compromising on quality decisions. So let's start by understanding why it's crucial to be both fast and thoughtful in our decision-making process. First off, when faced with a time-sensitive issue, you might need to act quickly to avoid missing opportunities or exacerbating problems. However, rushing into decisions can lead to overlooking important details or making mistakes that could have been avoided with more careful consideration. Therefore, the key is striking a balance between speed and thoroughness. One approach we'll look at first is the three-option rule. This involves coming up with 3 possible choices for any given situation instead of just one. By exploring multiple options, you can evaluate each alternative's pros and cons while also giving yourself a fallback plan should your primary choice not work out as expected. It helps to see things from different angles and make sure you're not settling for the first thing that comes to mind. Next is the SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This tool allows you to break down your decision by identifying what's advantageous about each choice, where there might be limitations or challenges, potential openings for success, and any risks involved. It gives a comprehensive overview of the situation at hand and helps prioritize which factors are most influential. Another useful technique is the pre-mortem. This involves imagining that you've made your decision and it turned out poorly. By thinking through what could go wrong ahead of time, you can take steps now to mitigate those risks or avoid them altogether. It's like doing a post-mortem before you even make the choice. Lastly, let's talk about gut feeling. While sometimes dismissed as unreliable, your intuition is actually based on past experiences and subconscious processing of information. Pairing this instinctive sense with analytical thinking can lead to quicker yet informed decisions. Remember, these approaches aren't mutually exclusive. They're tools you can use individually or together depending on the situation. The goal is to build a habit of making quick but well-considered choices that align with your goals and values. In conclusion, whether it's handling high-ticket projects at work or navigating everyday life decisions, being able to think fast yet strategically is an invaluable skill. By incorporating these approaches into your decision-making process, you can improve your ability to make effective choices under pressure while still considering all necessary factors. Today, we're diving into an important topic: monitoring the impact of decisions. Now, when you make decisions at work, whether big or small, it's crucial to keep track of how those choices play out over time. Think about it like this: every decision is a step in your journey towards achieving your goals. So let's talk about why monitoring these impacts matters. First off, understanding the results helps you learn and grow as a professional. For example, if you decide to invest in new technology for your team, watching how it improves productivity can help you make smarter investments next time. It's all about knowing what works and what doesn't so you can refine your approach. Next up is accountability. When you monitor the outcomes of your decisions, you take ownership of your choices. This not only builds trust among colleagues, but also shows leadership qualities. Let's say you chose a new vendor for supplies. If it turns out to be a good choice, everyone will see that as evidence of your sound judgment. Now, let's talk about feedback loops. Monitoring impacts creates a cycle where you can adjust and improve your decisions continuously. Imagine setting up a process review after every major project completion. This way, You can fine-tune strategies based on real-world outcomes instead of sticking to the same old methods. Lastly, tracking impacts helps you stay agile in changing environments. For instance, if market conditions shift suddenly, having monitored previous decision impacts closely means you're better equipped to pivot and respond quickly. So there you have it. Learn from your decisions, build trust through accountability, create feedback loops for continuous improvement, and stay adaptable with agility. Monitoring the impact of each choice is key to making smarter decisions in the future. Today, we're diving into how we can learn from outcomes to prepare for future crises. Let's kick things off by looking at some recent examples of major events that had significant impacts on society. By analyzing these past experiences, we can identify key lessons and apply them to better handle potential future crises. First up is the global pandemic. It taught us just how crucial it is to have robust public health infrastructures and emergency response plans in place. We saw firsthand how quickly a virus could spread across borders, making international cooperation absolutely essential. This experience highlighted the importance of early detection systems and quick vaccine development processes. Another notable crisis was the severe weather events we've witnessed over recent years. These showed us that climate change is real and needs urgent attention. It's clear now more than ever that we need to invest in resilient infrastructure and improve our disaster preparedness strategies. By learning from these experiences, we can create better policies for managing extreme weather conditions. Then, there was the financial crisis of 2008, which demonstrated the interconnected nature of global economies and the importance of regulatory oversight. This taught us valuable lessons about risk management and the need for transparency in financial institutions. It also emphasized the critical role central banks play during economic downturns. Now, let's talk about how these lessons can be applied going forward. We need to build adaptable systems that can quickly pivot as circumstances change. Investing in technology is key here, from digital health records to advanced climate monitoring tools. Collaboration between governments, private sectors, and international organizations is also crucial for effective crisis response. Moreover, we must prioritize research and development in areas like vaccine creation, renewable energy sources, and financial risk management technologies. By fostering innovation in these fields, we can better equip ourselves to handle future challenges swiftly and efficiently. Lastly, education plays a vital role too. We need to ensure the public is well informed about potential risks and how they can contribute to crisis prevention and response efforts. This includes everything from personal hygiene practices during pandemics to energy conservation measures for mitigating climate impacts. In conclusion, by studying past crises and their outcomes, we gain invaluable knowledge that helps us prepare for future emergencies more effectively. It's all about learning from the nitty-gritty details of these experiences and applying those lessons strategically going forward. Thank you all for joining me on this incredible journey through leadership, decision-making in crisis situations. Over these past weeks, we've explored several key topics that are essential to navigating and managing crises effectively. We started by understanding the foundational concepts of crisis management and why leadership plays such a critical role during these challenging times. Then, we dived into analyzing crises by learning how to identify their nature and assess their impact on stakeholders. Next, we covered developing robust decision-making frameworks, establishing criteria for evaluation and designing processes that can withstand pressure. We also discussed the importance of gathering reliable information quickly and efficiently in order to make informed decisions under tight timelines. Managing uncertainty and risk was another crucial aspect we tackled, exploring techniques and strategies to handle these challenges head-on. Communication emerged as a vital component throughout our discussions, especially when crafting clear messages and ensuring timely dissemination of information. We also looked at leveraging team dynamics during decision-making, emphasizing the importance of building effective crisis teams and harnessing diverse perspectives for better outcomes. Making rapid but informed decisions was another focus area where we learned techniques for quick assessment and strategic choices. Lastly, we examined how to evaluate the impact of our decisions and use these learnings to improve future responses to crises. As you move forward in your leadership roles, remember that each decision made during a crisis can have far-reaching consequences, so it's essential to be thoughtful yet swift. The most important takeaways are understanding the unique challenges involved in crisis management and applying strategies such as clear communication, reliable information gathering, and leveraging team dynamics. I encourage you to apply what you've learned in real-world scenarios and trust your instincts while making decisions under pressure. Remember that every situation is an opportunity for growth and learning. As you face future crises, may you lead with confidence and make informed choices that benefit all stakeholders involved. I wish you success in all your endeavors and hope these skills will serve you well. To stay connected or share your experiences, feel free to reach out via email or on social media platforms where we've been collaborating throughout this course. Additionally, if you found the journey as enlightening as I did, please consider leaving a review to help others discover this valuable content.